and I have a new fresh one before
It doesn't matter
anyone
now.
knows. It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. How dare you? Don't
Well,
remember Steve Mongo McMichael. I'm sorry.
we also remember him, but WWE remembers him.
That sounds so horrible. I stole the image and I didn't even see the day that we remembers. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I did this in the last 10 minutes before the show.
And then we go with clickbait, which is Bayley leaving WWE. This is all leading
Who
from
says the question mark? There's no question mark in the statement. She's leaving WWE, man. It's definitive. She's leaving.
She's done everything except win the new mid-card titles.
Yeah, but that's mid-card titles that no one cares about. So she doesn't have to do any of that. She's a Grand Slam champion. Bayley is going to leave WWE. I guarantee.
Well, she's only going to the place where they make you say, "Oh,
Master P joined Dynamite this week, Manny. Did he change it? Is this the proper counter to Travis Scott, the very evil, heelish Travis Scott, who people are blaming WrestleMania for? That's it. They dug up his granddaddy, Master P, and now we have a Dynamite this week.
And then Jamie Hayter advances in the Owen tournament to the finals to face Mercedes Moné. In largely a Dynamite that meant nothing.
Yeah. It's a Dynamite that didn't have much on it. There were some upsets of Briscoe and all types of stuff, but it's mostly a very, very fighting numbers Dynamite. There's nothing horrible on the show. There's nothing too great on the show. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to talk about. But
then the roast of WrestleMania featuring Tony Hinchcliffe. I don't know much about what Marcus is leading into with this story because it wasn't televised. The only thing you can see of it is just clips that fans have recorded in very, very grainy footage.
I have a clip. The one I had was really clear, but I chose not to listen to it all. But here's my reaction of the fallout of it. I think that what we're going to talk about is this bad for WWE, or will this get them canceled, or whatever else is going on in the world which involves this roast. It seemed like a lot has happened. A lot of grievances were aired out.
Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm, of course, your racially ambiguous Lord, Manny Hayes, and he is
Marcus, the man with the suspect bank account, but better than most, and keeps spending money for whatever reason. I need to stop. Marcus, the grand finale, who might be at the end of his grand finale days when Donald Trump issues his student loan. He's coming for my debt. He's coming for my debt. Coming for my paycheck.
I thought those debts were cancelled by the previous organization.
Yeah, they did, but Trump was like, get my money. I'm getting my money. And
so some have been canceled, the rest haven't.
Yeah, and so he's planning on coming for our paycheck with it. He's gonna take money out of our paycheck to pay these debts. Which I think my
money comes out of my paychecks.
So, Manny, if you see me on the news, it's because I have to take them out. I'm joking. I just want to live.
And this is the reason why I personally will never be allowed back in America, because my co-host may have jokingly said he will take him. He haven't said his name, but he said him out.
Yeah. And Manny, you won't be able to, if you came to the country, they will look at your tattoos and say you're part of the Alabama Clippers, and you will be sent to El Salvador. And plus, they think that you're so ambiguous, they will think you are of Latino descent.
Which, I mean, I would fit in New York. That is a melting pot of all cultures in New York. And California, but I notice it more in New York because I would consider that my state if I was American.
Yeah, because you have a New York state of mind. Wait, Manny, let's talk about the opening, the headline, the clickbait headline. It's kind of just been out there for a minute or two, a few days. Bayley was on Chris Van Vliet, and she was talking about her frustrations of not being treated like the other 4 horsewomen or in her status or her tenure within WWE that they kind of just throw it to the side. To go on the flip side, if you heard Karrion Kross talk about, which got him fired the first time, being a good soldier, it's where Bayley sees herself right now as a good soldier, and you can see her frustrations that she is not treated like.
She actually did go into detail regarding that, though. She actually said it's because I don't normally fight for certain things, or I just go, I don't want to do that, or so Bayley goes with the flow, whereas like the others will, I won't say manipulate, but politic.
They will throw titles on the table.
Yeah.
And they will argue up the management of some kind. I don't know what Charlotte actually does, but it seems like a lot. It just seems like from the outside. She never says anything openly, but it just seems like when it gets to the ring, it just seems like there's a lot of tension going on between Charlotte and a lot of the women in the locker room. Mercedes is out as the other horsewoman, and Becky seems to be Hulk Hogan lately, and then she's booking herself to win titles.
See, do you know what? I had my playlist on shuffle as I was walking home today. I think you know how the band that played Chris Benoit's song is trying to claim that song back.
Yeah.
I think we need to reclaim I Am a Real American. I think that man has done damage to that song, because when I hear that song, I go into a good mood, and then suddenly I think about the crimes this man has done and the amount of lies this man has told, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it is disgusting. It is disgusting. And Manny, if you want to try to take that back, go ahead. And if you want to try to take the Benoit song back to do that band, try your best. But I think you're in a losing battle, sir. I think you're both in a losing battle. I don't think there's any way you can hear "I'm a Real American" and not think of the disgrace Hulk Hogan, or you can't hear.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Someone that man murdered his family. Or not man.
Let me actually tell you something. You hear the first three dun dun dun. You don't have to hear dun dun dun, dun, because at that point your brain should really change too.
Yeah,
it changes to, oh fuck that man.
But just like Jimmy said, maybe the USA has damaged that song too, because right now the USA looks very tacky to the rest of the world. Just a little tacky.
Neil. Yeah, Bayley isn't the prick of the four horsewomen, but it was pretty obvious that she wasn't going to be.
Yeah, she's the nice one. She's the one that's going to play by. She seems like the company woman. And if I were to say, if there was a horsewoman to stay their entire tenure in WWE, it would be Bayley. But however, when you see this interview, you see how emotional she seems. It seems like, you know what, enough's enough. And it's time for a change. And I don't mean to quote Owen Hart in this situation. I just think that her best friend is Mercedes, and Mercedes is like, come over here. We run this shit. I run a billionaire. I legit feel like a CEO. I got my own writers. I got my own programs. We could team up together again. And let me tell you, they will not forget you in 2 weeks. They may take 3 weeks, baby.
Well, the problem with that is Mercedes hasn't really done anything for women's wrestling over in AEW. It's still the same current format. One match, one maybe segment, and then everyone being a valet. And you might, once in a blue moon, get 2 matches.
Megan Bane's already kind of gone again. She fell into that race side. Megan Bane already feels like she's gone. Stand-up is like the one constant in this division.
Yeah, but and the fact, and it's well deserved because she is actually great.
I won't call her great. She's good.
Marcus, when you look at the state of that division, she is great.
Okay. I don't even think she's in the top 5 wrestlers on their roster.
I think she is.
I don't even consider her top 5 in their roster.
And Bayley goes over there. I hope they recapture that summer of Bayley and Sasha when they literally took over during the COVID time, when they were on all the shows and they were like the tag team champions, and it was fun. Them being on those segments. I hope that's the case, but I don't think that's the case because I don't think they care. I really don't think they care as much.
Yeah, and I think that they're older now. They're older. They're in their mid-30s, if not closer to 40. It's kind of like, that's the end. the end of their career. Like I think it was rejuvenate Bayley for a little bit, but over time it's kind of going to just be like, oh, we've seen this a bit, we've seen this
Yeah,
before.
and
It'd
she
be kind of
alluded,
like it's a younger version of Cope and Christian Cage.
yeah, and she kind of alluded to having a year and a half left on the contract or a year and a half left to go. Another thing was I sent you the clip of it from that interview. Someone it seemed like she knew because this interview happened before WrestleMania, like days
Yeah,
before. But it seemed like she knew she was going to get taken off the card.
yeah, and you know that's what I've been speculating for. I don't think Triple H runs this this company. Like you know, criticize his booking all you want, but I feel like he has a heart and he cares about his wrestlers. That is something that has been stated for multiple wrestlers. He'll pull them aside, he'll congratulate them, he'll hug them, he talks to them, he pitches them idea, he writes everything like a script or whatnot. I don't feel like he would do this to Bayley like a day before or two before WrestleMania. I don't feel like
Yeah.
he would do that. I feel like she knew, but she also probably didn't like it.
But like I feel and I hope this leads to an interesting story. Like maybe Becky ends up being a Paul Heyman woman, and she ends up in that thing, and then we learn that Becky was the one that took her out. It make an interesting story. How long it goes, who knows? But it would make an interesting story because essentially what it will be. I wouldn't even compare it to. I don't like the comparisons they have to the Don Callis family. I think the comparison, because if they add a female to this group, it would be more like Mox's gang.
I don't know. I feel like it's still more in the vein of the Callis family, but I just feel like it's in the vein of any other faction, to be honest, that's ever been formed. And I do believe they're going to probably say Becky did have House Bayley, but let's see where that leaves Bayley at the end of that feud. And I'm going to say nowhere. She's not going to beat Becky at the end of this feud. She's essentially in the natty role at this point of just being a good hand that they're going to use that say, hey, I need you to get somebody over. Take the fall tonight, Bayley. Take the fall.
Yeah. Where else did you want to go?
Well, I mean, we can go straight to the shows, or we can want to talk about the roast right now.
The roast ain't that important. We'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah, okay. We can just start talking about Dynamite then.
Master P comes out.
No limit soldier.
He brings out the Ops, who are also wearing bedazzled t-shirts. One being more in particular Samoa Joe, that's wearing a tight ass bedazzled t-shirt.
Man, you know we giving strikes. You know we give strikes like that. And you know we normally pick out a fan who we think is the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
It's Belly. I'm giving that award to Samoa Joe just for the shirt. Just for the shirt. Nothing about this makes me think Samoa Joe badass. It looks like he's in his sister's pajamas making fun of her or something. I don't understand what was going on.
That was my first thought when he came out there with that thing. I was like, this man is a killer. This man is a destroyer. This man is wearing a bedazzled t-shirt and I can't take him seriously anymore. It's like when you see The Rock after all he's done and then, what the hell is this man? This man's a tooth fairy wearing a tutu.
What are we doing here? It's Hulk Hogan in his Mr. Nanny outfit. This is what I've been cheering all my life. Jesus. But it's just really disappointing. Like the Ops is supposed to be this badass, basically the updated Blackpool Combat Club, which is, it just seems like that was a year ago. But I'm just saying that's what they're supposed to be like. We're roughing, we're tougher, we tap people out, we suplexing people and getting it on and all that. But then Joe comes out this very funny shirt that his daughter, it seems like maybe his daughter or wife said, "Put this on, honey."
No. I think it was a Master P shirt.
Oh, was it?
Because Master P was wearing a very similar shirt and the rest of the Ops were.
Yeah, he was. But I just don't. I'm trying to still figure out, Manny, and let's get to the end of this segment. The Death Riders come out, or Marita comes out as a distracted. The rest of the Death Riders come out. Somehow Mox gets distracted. He gets choked out by Samoa Joe, and the Ops and Master P stand supreme.
Mox was distracted by Master P. So as the Death Riders come out, Master P just stands there in the ring, watching all this, and then Mox turns his attention to him, and that's when it allows Joe to get up and put a coquina clutch on him. And then Master P gets some whack-ass jabs into him. You might as well thought Shane McMahon was taking those jabs the way he was throwing them.
I do not want to hear about how lame Travis Scott is once Master P threw those jabs. At least when he connected with Cody, he hit that motherfucker. Like, that was it. He hit him. Then the Death Riders, I believe, I forget what happened, but Master P just kind of dipped. And then don't the Ops get the business or something? I can't remember exactly. I don't know why I'm blanking out.
Well, the Elite come out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Young Bucks come out and they hit Joe with the chair. Master P just leaves Joe for dead. as the Elite helps out the Death Riders, and they're not explaining their kind of connection still.
Yeah, they're not. They just want to help. They just want to help Mark. Swerve comes out. So does Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone runs away. Joe says he was going to choke out Mox and take back the AEW championship.
And Swerve gives him that eye of,
Are you?
Are you really? Nah, I'm going to do that. So they set the match up for Samoa Joe and John Moxley for Beach Break, which is a few weeks. I think it's May 14th or something like that.
No, I thought it was the end of May.
Somewhere around there. It's somewhere around there. It's before Double or Nothing. And come on, let's be real. Joe is not winning that title at that point.
It'd be nice if he did.
It'd be nice. Very nice. But no, it would not be. It would not be. Because, yes, the Death Rider storyline needs to end, and John Moxley needs to stop being champion. And we need to see that title that's in that briefcase. But, Manny, you don't want it to end like that.
It's not, because it's going to be Will. We all know it's going to be Will. Will's going to do it in Texas.
Yes. We need to give it to Will in Texas. That only makes sense. You don't just give it away to Joe and be like, all right, this is the end. It seems like we're building toward that. Even though we may not like this build, we are going. We have a direction. Yeah. So
Nick Wayne has defeated your favorite luchador, Commander, for the Ring of Honor TV title.
Breaks my heart.
Christian says, all the congratulations should go to him, because if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be a champion. He also says he celebrated with his mother extensively.
Ooh. At least they confirmed what's going on in that situation. Just wondering why she's around. Christian's digging her down. That's why.
Yeah. Christian also goes on to say, basically, if you listen to me, see what happens. Well, Nick retorts and goes, well, see what happens when you stick to the plan. You win championships. The boy's speaking back.
He spoke back. If he's getting old enough to fight his daddy, man. He's getting old enough to fight his daddy. You know, I always enjoy stuff like that. When people get old enough to fight their daddy.
Marcus, Neil, who sits next to me at Pro Wrestling Eve, shout out to Neil, points out that it might not happen at All In or All Out. It might happen at Forbidden Door, because that's in the UK.
Yeah, but I say we get that. I say we speed that up. As much as that sways me, Neil, Manny, as much as that sways me going, that kind of makes the most sense. But
it does make the most sense. But the thing is, you have to wait till August.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Who else is in the Owen? Like, who's his finals? It's the Proto Star, right? It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Do you see him actually beating Will? I mean, I was gonna wait to talk about this later in the Callis family attack on Ospreay and all that, when all 900 of them are actually in attendance for a change together. But we can jump ahead just a little bit. Do you see the Proto Star beating him?
No, he hasn't beaten him yet, has he? Either, like in AEW.
Fletcher got him. He got him the first. Fletcher has one. Ospreay has the cage. This is the rubber match.
Okay, so this will be the rubber match. The obvious thing would say no. However, I never can read. AEW are never that obvious with their booking because they pivot quite a lot. Like they're pivoting on this story. I reckon it would have been a better idea to put the title on Swerve.
Well, I'm not going to just say AEW is the. I'm not going to just allow you to say AEW pivots a lot because I believe the E has pivoted so much since the booking of WrestleMania. They cannot argue and say, "Oh no, we have the whole storytelling," because I don't know what the fuck is going on over there with the Brock and talking about. Yeah, man, I'm leagues ahead, or now they call me in to fill in because the ticket sales are low. That's why I was in Canada. So no one gets a pass this week. All these pivoting. Let's just get coherent storytelling. I know I'm jumping ahead with the Will Ospreay Brody King team up, which is a random team up against the members of the Callis family.
Josh and Takeshita.
Yeah, Josh Alexander and Takeshita, which, solid match, whatnot, but we all knew.
Run-ins galore at the end. Run-ins galore.
It was a plethora of run-ins. I didn't realize the concept.
This whole night was run-ins, with exception of Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander. Every match had a run-in.
Did the Speedball Young Bucks match have a run-in? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, Ricochet.
Oh, he did. God damn it, he did. Yeah, you're right. Damn, they all did. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go back in order.
So Ricochet takes on Mark Briscoe. Mark rolls up Ricochet for the win after Ricochet tried to cheat by having his feet on the rope. Ricochet tries to get his heat back, but is stopped by Kevin Knight.
Yep. Here's my problem with the whole thing, this situation, why I do not care. I don't like the way AEW debut wrestlers. It's really annoying. Kevin Knight, talented, very talented guy. What's his debut? Essentially his debut, or he's wrestled, I believe, on Dynamite before the match. He loses to Will Ospreay. He loses somewhere else. And now he's just kind of losing tag matches and stuff. I don't like you telling me someone's a big deal and then you just have them lose over and over again. And be like, oh, he's a really talented individual. What's talented about? In full kayfabe, bit of a loser.
He is.
Imagine a prize fighter, Manny. You represent your fighter, and you telling me, Marcus, this is the best fucking fighter in the world. He's strong, he's fast. Look at his hands. Look like Nikita Lyons out there. And then he gets knocked out in the third round. And then you're still telling me he's the best fucking fighter in the world. He's so athletic. And I'm going but I saw him get knocked out last week, and he's getting knocked out again.
It's like when someone tells you to watch something and it's not as good as they think it is.
Yeah, you're behind it.
Yeah, and I feel the same with Speedball. Speedball about the same. Josh Alexander lost on his debut.
Same. All these people.
He got a win tonight. He got a win on Dynamite in a tag match, but
they look well.
But some of these people should not be put into tournaments and all these things to debut. They should. He should really stop with the wild cards because it really dampens any momentum you would have being a new superstar.
Yeah, and these guys could be anybody. This could be fucking Grand Metalik Commander for all I care, or anybody. On the flip side, on the WWE side, they don't do this shit.
Sometimes they do.
But they protect them for the most part. Penta didn't start losing matches right away. He started up hot. Now he's been losing ever since. But let
me tell you something. It depends where you sit and how they bring you in. If they bring you in to be a huge star, you ain't gonna lose that much when you come in. They're gonna present you as a star in squash matches and stuff. I feel the way people get brought in AEW is, oh, look at this guy, he's great. They go for even though they lost, and I don't normally like this phrase because we say it a lot, mostly about NXT stars. Mm-hmm. They had a good showing.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. I want to care about your wins and losses and stuff like that. I don't like the good showing. because there's a lot of those like good showings. Oh, let me shake your hand. Oh, wow, let me hug you. What a great match. Appreciate the opportunity. Fuck all that. You want to win, damn it. I want winners.
It's
By
not
the way,
even. It's
they
not
could use
even just
corporal
having
punishment for
winners.
this. Corporal punishment could have did a job. He could have did the job. He could have been Kevin Knight this week.
FTR come out. It appears Stokely are managing them now. Or he's an agent.
You said it like, honestly, Manny, I'm happy for this, just in general. I think Stokely, I miss Stokely on Dynamite. I haven't seen him in a while, and I just feel like he was too charismatic. He's too entertaining to just be on the sidelines, and I'm glad he's in a prominent managing role with FTR right now.
Immediately, he lists the crimes of everyone in AEW and wonders how FTR receive a fine and a suspension for accidentally hitting someone and touching Tony Schiavone.
Yep.
And the others walk around scot-free.
Committing actual crimes, burning houses, and
acts of terrorism.
Trying to set people on fire. He brought up all of this, and you go like, yeah, what the fuck?
Then you look at things and go, Tony, get your house in order. Where's your priorities? You menace.
How dare you find these two gentlemen? But I like this relationship, man. I don't know who the tag team champions currently are anyway.
Who are the tag team champions?
Exactly. Last time I remember the tag team champions were Private Party.
Marcus,
someone beat them.
It's the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, the Hurt Syndicate. That's why I forgot. And you know what? I like Sheldon work, and but this MJF segment is not working for me. That was pretty much the next segment anyway. He's trying to get in. Now he's offering them the car. They take the car and they drive off. But it just went on, and they got the Manny disappeared. They got the apology thing that basically Cena created this week. I don't need wrestling fans starting to chant, "We are sorry." Like, this just better be a 1 week thing.
I particularly enjoyed the Rock and Roll Express being taken out.
Not as much as Eric, who I believe probably rewind it
over
and over.
A pile driver, Marcus. This man is like 100 years old.
Thousands of years old, man. He's thousands of years ago. Manny, when you talk about the Rock and Roll Express, you got to say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's how fucking he get the whole scroll like that history. And then Jim Cornette. Oh, and what is going on? Like, it's that old. Like, when I talk about the Rock and Roll Express, man, I open up scroll and I go, the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express. Nobody was born or alive to actually see it, but we've heard they were really good matches.
Oh, it's a scroll. A scroll.
A scroll. That could have been worse, man. I could have said it was written on tablet in stone right next to the 10 Commandments. That's how old these motherfuckers are. Like, if you think of tag teams of cool, hot, sexy out there, you may think of a million different tag teams that come to mind. If you want to go more modern, you would say the Young Bucks. You want to go into the past, you would say the Hardy Boys. If you want to go even further than that, you may even say the Rockers and LOD. Then you can even go further back. There's a land of shit, the Killer Bees, the Mounties. Then you go to the Rock and Roll Express, right next to the Bushwhackers.
Can we just pause for a second?
Or the Briscoes.
How dare he? How dare him? The grand finale of all people just disrespect Demolition. Disrespect.
Did I say Demolition?
You did not bring up Demolition whatsoever.
I brought an LOD. They're Demolition's an LOD knockoff anyway.
Demolition held their titles for longer than the New Day had to break their record.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just so old. They're so old.
Jesus, GCW had the Rock and Roll Express and the Warlord. This
yeah, they do.
The Warlord.
Come on, man. Come on. It's one thing for PCO to be running out there, who is probably 20 years younger than the Rock and Roll Express.
So this match, the next match, I don't know the ratings or how people have how many others, but like on the Midcard Mess Facebook group, the Young Bucks took on Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin the Jet Knight. They're actually referring to this as one of the best tag matches of the year.
It was fine. Was it better than Hanky taking Fracture Manny? I watched it.
How good was it? How did you?
I wanted to ask you how that died when Hank died. When Hank
it was
died,
perfect.
I was like,
it was so good.
So flat on that table. I don't know if the table was intended to break. I don't know if the table was intended to break or not, but the fact that it did, that he just laid there, was so perfect. Yeah, and then he got to make the save at that last second. It was a really good tag match, and it was short enough thought. And I would rate it higher than the Young Bucks and Mike Bailey. Yeah. It was a better match. Hell, I would even go another route. I was more into Raquel and Liv on Monday against Becky and Lyra. I was even more into that than this match. There's some good spots in this, but I'm not gonna go. I'm not sucking dick.
I don't have a necessary problem with the Young Bucks, but I think I've just seen all their shit now, and I'm used to it. So they're like, do you know when people are at work and they've been there for too long, and you just go, they're part of the furniture now?
Yeah.
That's what the Young Bucks are to wrestling now. They used to be young and fresh, and now I've seen it all. I've seen all they can do.
But this was a cool match. It was a cool match.
It was a good match.
I'm not knocking the match. I'm just saying it's not the best match. One of the best tag matches I've seen this year, and it's years early.
I mean, this week
I thought it was a really good. Yeah, it was just a really. To me, it was a solid match. It was a really good match, and if you want, when we get to Friday, the competition is on. I'm curious what this TLC match is going to be. The very booed TLC match.
Yeah, it was booed mainly because they said next week.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Like, what the fuck? Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
They could have gotten rid of AJ Styles and Logan Paul and put this instead.
They should have got rid of the New Day and Warriors. I feel like the Street Profits deserved it more than any of the tag teams on their roster because they have stayed there together and they have worked their ass off and they have jobbed to every tag team they tried to get over, but yet they are the only tag team to get over in WWE technically.
Toni Storm is having a championship eliminator. She said if there's any bitch that has an itch, and then Queen Aminata returns. Do you know who Toni Storm reminds me of? And it's really weird.
Who?
If she ever ate tomatoes in the most disgusting fashion possible, she would be that guy.
Man, if she ate tomatoes like that guy, the ward of Gundor. If she ate those tomatoes like that, I would actually find it very sexy at this point. Like, she couldn't even make that look gross. She couldn't make it look gross. Make Pippin sing, damn it, sing, Hobbit, sing.
So Queen Aminata is facing, I believe she's facing Toni Storm on Collision, and I'm probably going to tune in for that.
I think it's going to be solid, but you know what? It's that weird era of Collision where if you do want to watch Collision, you don't know when the hell it's going to come on because it's going with the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
So you got to be like, when I catch it when I can catch it.
I'm just going to say we skip over the Hurt Syndicate segment. I'm bored of it.
We talked about it.
You talked about it. I did not. You didn't even say anything about
it. But let's just say covered.
Yeah. So the main event was Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. I thought this was a really good match.
Really good main event. Really solid main event. And it was, to me, it was the redeemer of Dynamite this week. I thought Dynamite was a solid show, but I thought this made it actually a good show.
I didn't hate it. I thought a lot of the shows this week threw in the towel, like too much wrestling. I think a lot of people are feeling so like wrestling overloaded right now.
Yeah. I think that it could be fatigue. That's why this Dynamite suffered for me not caring as much, or just anything. Because honestly, I just want to get to the main storylines. Like I'm all about. I want to see John Cena go through those dates. I want to see what's going on with the Heyman faction. I would like the AEW to progress more with some of their storylines. I feel like we just kind of stuck somewhere. I don't know where we are in AEW right now, but we're kind of stuck. I don't know what it is. It's not bad. There's nothing bad happening. It's good.
Well, there is something bad happening. It's the Hurt Syndicate.
That's like it's momentum.
Hurt Syndicate MJF. That's bad. And then I think this Mox Death Rider stuff is bad, but everything else around it is actually interesting.
Yeah, they're trying to get it out the way, though. We're trying to get through. We're chugging along. It's like being in quicksand. We're going deeper and deeper in it, even though we're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought the side Dynamite with a really good main event. Toni Storm, forever entertaining, and is the show. She is Dynamite at this point.
I actually think Toni Storm was on the TV for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, and yet it was an Academy Award winning performance.
Sabu did finally retire on last weekend. However, I saw the clip and I'm like, this is not the way you go out.
Yeah, go look up the Sabu GCW thing. I had the opportunity to go to that over the weekend, but
I hope you change your mind swiftly.
No, I was dead tired. There was no way I could do it. I was up for almost over 48 hours. It was enough.
It was kind of like he did, and then did.
Yeah. It was like John Mayer came out, was like, gravity working against me. Let's go some
Sandman running. No, I haven't seen the Sandman running.
No. Guys, let's keep wrestling in 2025. That should be our new year. That should be for the rest of the year. I don't want to see anybody from the 90s wrestle anymore. I don't want to see anybody from the 90s wrestle anymore. Let's just if you wrestled in the 90s, you're done. You're finished.
AJ wrestled in the 90s.
No, I feel like he got 2000, 2001. I don't know if he got 99. He may have. Well, he fits in the category too. But Jamal, our inside source, says this. Is this the right one? They might be buying House of Glory. They might be. I mean, it would be the counteract to. It's smaller New York promotion basically. Jamal is currently training under them, but I'm curious if they buy it. They buy it. Mike Santana will be fighting Takeshita coming up soon, and that's be a pretty good match.
So apparently, WWE are in talks with working with Carlos Colon's World Wrestling Council, WWC.
Yeah, can I jump in and add something?
You don't like those people?
Yes, Manny, I do not like those people. They murdered
the Colones, not Puerto Ricans.
They murdered Bruiser Brody. Carlos Lilos, you're cool.
Yeah, let's move into NXT. It opens with Liv Morgan, Raquel versus Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. I wish they actually gave a bit more to this before just throwing this right at the beginning.
Yeah. Like there was all this earning this match. They went through an elimination match. They just kind of was like, let's get this over with. They could have even built this, but I feel like Liv and Raquel was like, I've been in Vegas for like 3 weeks. Get me out of here.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. Even the audience just felt like, we've been here since Friday.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here. I'm done. I can't cheer anymore. The crowd was just like, we're here, but I was looking online on how much the tickets were costing. Because, it
could have been that much for this.
For $20.
Yeah, it could have been that much for this.
$50 you could be in right at the rail. It was very cheap, and I think that's where they may even gave some of these tickets away because I think wrestling fans skipped town. I'm gonna be honest, they were done. No one had any money left. This is like the squeezing of a lemon, trying to make that lemon juice. You just like trying to really, really get in there. Just really get in there.
This match is all right. Liv and Raquel retain. as expected.
Yeah.
So this thing really bothered me. I didn't find it funny when it happened on Stand and Deliver, nor did I didn't care. I just think Penn and Teller. Why are they on TV still?
What do you mean? They are talented magicians, Manny. And they're promoting it for the CW because they have a show, I believe, on the CW about like Fool Us or something like that. So I think it was a cross promotion deal with the CW, Las Vegas.
They took his cup away.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened.
And then they gave it back, provided he said magic is real, and he defends his title against a mystery opponent.
Yeah. And out comes basically the returning Noam Dar to middling reactions from the crowd who just exhausted. I don't know who the hell I'm looking at crowd. He comes out Supernova 11 with a haircut and he wins the Heritage Cup. But I was hoping this was we're coming to the end of the Heritage Cup because
I thought they were gonna have a what's the word?
Merger? Yeah. I was hoping for it because oh my God, Brian Pillman Jr., Lexus King confronted Ricky Saints as he was in the ring, and he started talking this shit and said, "How about next week?" or whenever he said it. I don't remember the actual day he said it.
Turns out that's just going to be for the North American title now next week. Thea Hell, who normally irritates just me, has irritated the women's locker room, which included Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Fatal Influence.
Yes. She's back there. She's talking her shit, and she ended up getting into a match later with
which he defeats Fallon Henley with an arm bar.
Who made this decision? Was it you, Sean? Is this you? What is your beef against Fallon? Let Fallon be great. Let her do something. Let anybody do something. All Fatal Influence is doing is losing and showing dissension.
Just break up already.
Break a fire them all. You're not going to do anything with it. Let's just be done with it. Let's just be done with it all.
Obafemi, he comes out, gives praise to Javon Evans. Trick Williams comes out demanding another title match.
Yep.
Joe Hendry comes out, calls Trick entitled and a whiny bitch. Trick says he's an outsider and doesn't belong, and he got his ass whooped. On Sunday, Joe simply responds, "I was in the ring, while you were sat in stands." They throw Trick out of the ring and they have a standoff. I don't know if I want to watch that.
What, Trick versus Joe?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even know if it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to TNA because Trick was throwing a tantrum in the back, and I don't know if it was just my feed. Did the footage go out for you?
It happened on mine and it happened on Netflix.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah. So does anybody has this footage surfaced? Is there any footage of what actually happened? I heard sound.
I haven't seen it all I can.
And you hear Big go, I think that's Ava's voice saying, "Get out. Get out." Get out of here. And so I think that's Trick's exit from NXT. I feel like that's
I have a feeling Joe Hendry might be the one to dethrone Obafemi.
What?
So they clearly do. Joe Hendry was handpicked by Randy Orton to be his opponent at WrestleMania. I think there's a lot more to Joe Hendry, even though I think he's just an entrance and an what do you call him? I'm so old now. What do you call him? Diss track.
Flash in the pan. Oh,
he's a diss track. Yeah, he's an entrance in a diss track and a very average wrestler. But I think they see a lot in him in terms of like reach. Like obviously he's very over. Even working for just TNA, he's very over. I feel like he might be the guy to dethrone over, and I don't like it, but I have a feeling it might be the one thing that happens.
I don't see it happening, Manny. I can see how you can see it. I don't see that happening. I do think they see what stuff in Joe Hendry because he's essentially gotten himself over in a way that John Cena has a Real American Hulk Hogan, where basically Hogan is just an entrance and a leg drop, essentially, and a Hulk.
Marcus, he had, I wouldn't say the full audience was doing it,
Yep.
on night 2. I would say at least 40,000 people were waving their hands from side to side.
And everybody knew the song. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It wasn't like I didn't see one person go, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Which you would see at a WWE show because more casuals there. But the person, he has gotten himself over. This is one of those situations where, you know how like Orange Cassidy was over? Like people just knew who Orange Cassidy is.
Thing is though, they did it right though. They did it right because he did. It's not like it's the first time we've seen Joe Hendry in WWE. We've seen him in NXT, but we saw him at the Rumble. So anyone that was there would know, even if they haven't watched TNA, even if they don't have follow him on social media, they would have some idea who he is.
Yeah. And they have a reference. They have, they have you know. So
that's why I think he might be the one.
But what would he do with that title? Is it we got to get it back, or not we, but as in NXT, we got to get it back at Worlds Collide or something?
It's very obvious he's going to be the one that carries. He's coming to WWE. It's very obvious.
They don't need him now. I mean that. I believe that, you know, focus on your homegrown talent. And I know you say homegrown, we own TNA. I'm like, not really. We shadow own them.
I just get I have that feeling. Marcus, Stacks meets Luca Crucifino in the desert.
No, Manny. No. They get a strike.
Why?
They get a strike. You may say that was the desert, Manny. Yes, it is a desert, but they met on the side of the road. In the desert, the scene they were going for, and you've seen the movie Casino, is when Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro meet in the desert, and they have that big argument over who let who do what and what not. Right? You remember that scene? Like, who the fuck are you and all that? That's basically what they were going for, but they had no access to actual desert. They stayed on the side of the road, and you could clearly see the rest of the desert is blocked off by barbed wire, and they were not breaking any laws to do this. I say strike because I don't want to see two guys on the side of the road having a discussion. But Lucy Crucifino is dead, allegedly.
Yeah, I believe he's dead. Tony D wants Rizzo to go into hiding.
Manny, I'm going to ask you this question, and I know it didn't make our intros, but is this storyline officially good now? Or are you invested? Do you care about this Stacks and Tony D rivalry now that Rizzo's in hiding and Lucy Crucifino may have got the whack?
It's interesting, but I feel the underboss has to win this so Tony can move on.
Manny, not only does the underboss have to win this, in this segment alone, and it at Stand and Deliver, at that point, there was something that clicked in my head, and I don't like thinking like this. I don't like thinking like this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. I think Stacks is gonna get into the main roster before Tony D and get over faster. I think he's the best. I think he's the biggest star. I think Tony D's time is past. I don't think there's nothing Tony D can do to erase him from this gimmick. He's murdered 2 times, and then whatever else is going on with it. But I think Stacks can overcome it and actually become a bigger star.
I have to agree.
So wrong. I know you've hated Tony D though. You've hated Tony D your whole life. But I never would thought I would say Stacks might.
I've hated him, but I haven't hated him more than Thea Hale. My hate for Thea Hale, Marcus, when she comes out, I start thinking of Diana Ross, and the song comes to mind is "I Do Not Care." I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I hate it. I do not care.
Manny, I feel like when Thea Hale comes out, you literally become Rika become one and just start barking at the TV.
I hate her. I hate her.
She got the step out win, though. You know what? I think she's improved as a wrestler. I just think she doesn't have a character that's that annoying. But
She's annoying.
I don't hate her. I do not hate Thea Hale.
Dark State take on Mars Bourne and Javon Evans for whatever reason.
Yeah, so basically, Miles Bourne was chilling. Javon was walking in the background. And then the Dark State was like, yeah, sucker, and all that stuff. And they're speaking jive or whatever was going on. And then a tag match happened. And then, you know what? Pretty good tag match. I enjoyed the tag
Mars
match.
Bourne's pretty good, you know.
Miles Bourne is pretty good. And
he's doing all the Orton stuff.
Yeah. And then what's the big guy that was in Dark State? Not the nerd.
I don't know that name.
I forget his name. But
just call him the one that's not the one that reads books.
He's the one with the hairy chest.
Yeah. I
thought they looked like a really good just like tag team, just by themselves in Dark State. And I thought everything worked out. I didn't have a problem with this. But it's something that the crowd wanted? No. Did I want this? Not really either. They get the Bray Wyatt treatment too. Osiris Griffin, thank you. Osiris Griffin. Not a bad name. OG Osiris Griffin.
Ain't better than Saquon Sugars, man.
No, it's not.
I'm waiting for that trademark to go over, to end, and I'm taking that name.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am only Saquon. Man, you start putting that in your name instead of being Lord Benny Hayes, and I am the man futurely known. Thank God. Just waiting for my time. Bite my time. Bite my time.
Inamura manipulates Ava to get him and Briggs a tag team title match. But the good news is he's going back to Noah where he will stay. He's so trash.
Can't believe. If I'm Shawn Michaels and the NXT crew, we sent you guys people over there who we think are talented. We sent Shinsuke, we sent Charlie Dempsey, we sent
Omos.
Yeah, we sent Omos. You gave us Inamura, and we teamed him with Briggs, and maybe that's our fault for teaming him with Briggs. Maybe that's why he's not shining or whatnot, but none of this has worked. I can't wait for the end of this.
Yeah, me neither. Chase U apparently is back.
Yep. I don't even know how that works. Do I tell Ridge?
Where is Ridge?
He lost that 1 week to somebody and never came back. Might be done. I think it was Ricky. Yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer takes on Roxanne. Roxanne states that the Raw after Mania was supposed to be her moment, so she ruined the moment for Stephanie because she deserved it. Stephanie retains in a decent match, and Julia comes out. They square off.
And also, Jordan Grace is staring too, and they're just women in the crowd just staring at her like she had a target on her back. Stephanie Kier may get. I think she's up for MVP of WrestleMania week. And then she was everywhere. She was on all the shows, and she had that banger with EO, and she had a nice match with Roxanne for us. And I think that there's only a matter of time she's on the main roster.
Yeah, I feel like the moment she loses that NXT Women's title, she's gone to the main roster.
Fighting for the title too, right off the jump too. It's not even a question.
She'll probably win US and Intercontinental titles and just on a tour.
Yeah. She needs to get the treatment that they've given Lyra Valkyria, who's gotten everything handed to her. I think Stephanie should be.
Do you know what's weird? Raw was 3 hours on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You got 1 match per hour. You know how disgusting that is?
But yeah, it was so busy of a show. It's so busy.
Yeah, people happened when the wrestling show. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it was Raw after Mania. Yeah, it was so good. 3 matches.
I could swear we have 4.
No, 3. Pentagon, EO, Stephanie, and then the tag match to open the show.
There had to be another match. I feel like there was
one. That was
Alpha
it.
Academy? Didn't the Alpha Academy Grande? No. Yeah,
No, we
that
were
happened.
supposed to get the Alpha Academy, but then
Yeah.
Rusev decided I'm going to destroy everything that's in my
Yeah, he
way.
destroyed the New Day. Curious what SmackDown's going to bring this Friday. Hopefully the excitement, hopefully new storylines, hopefully call-ups. I'm sure it's going to be considered the SmackDown after Mania, which there's no way.
I considered doing the SmackDown after Mania watch along, but I am too tired. I am sick of wrestling at this moment in time. I need a cleanse.
Ew, wrestling gross, has cooties.
And you know what? This is also coming from a man that put in 32 hours into a game the other day. You know, the other day I was supposed to be asleep. I was awake till 5 a.m. finishing off this game.
Man, you're worse than me. You're worse than me. Oh, I'm supposed to be asleep. Let me binge watch an entire series on Netflix.
No, I thought every level I was playing, each chapter was about an hour. The final chapter was like a full-on anime movie. I went on for 3 hours. I was like, what the fuck?
That's it, kids. Leave the games alone. But let's talk about this WWE roast real quick, since we did put a thumbnail, because whatever. I ain't got much to say on it other than, do you think there's going to be any
Repercussions?
repercussions
Yeah.
to some of the things that they're saying, because they're saying one, Nia Jax came for Charlotte, who then unfollowed her on X, formerly known as Twitter. She's, huh?
What was said?
Oh, you don't know? She was talking about how, her divorces, Andrade, her plastic surgery, coming in big leaguing people. She went to, apparently she was airing out a grievance.
Yeah.
There was Paul Heyman, who apparently made some
Paul Heyman made
racial jokes.
Paul Heyman made Fluffy upset.
Yeah. Apparently he made a lot of racial jokes.
But Paul Heyman's explanation of that was, wrestlers come into our house and we show them who means business, kind of thing. So Paul Heyman said, I'm going to go over there and just show them that this is our house. I can do this shit. You got microphones. This is my house.
But it seems like it's just more and more. I haven't listened to the full thing or any of the leak footage, all of it.
But there's a reason. This is probably the reason why it wasn't televised.
Yeah, it's the reason why a lot of comedy shows, they say they take everybody's phone now, because things are going to be said before the shows and people don't want to get canceled. But I feel like that, there was I think Nia Jax even made fun of Michael Cole and said she finally got McAfee's balls out of his mouth like he do commentary or some shit like that. Like apparently everybody went in on each other, but a lot of people say they had a good time who attended. Yeah. But who knows who those people are and what was going on.
Triple H is on record as stating, if you didn't like WrestleMania, he's got 2 words for you: fuck off.
Yeah. So I honestly think there's going to be no backlash for any of this. It's just
I don't think so. If it was televised, I think there'd be more. But because it wasn't televised, and a handful of people have seen it, and someone hasn't fully recorded the whole thing, I don't think you're going to get that much backlash from it.
I expect a Dark Side of the Ring maybe 10 years from now, or the next time they come to Vegas, they're going to say the roast, unseen footage of a roast of WWE or something like that, or what was going on. We're going to get some type of documentary on it, but seems like pure chaos.
I'm assuming they probably won't do it again next year.
I mean, depending on if it made money, if it made it happen. But I think it really, like, you don't want to, if people were offended, like Fluffy or Charlotte or stuff like that, I think they may cancel it because of that. Not like cancel, but like, hey, we don't need to be doing this. But if something does leak that, I wonder, is it so bad? Because it'd be so bad that Netflix says we can take this deal that we give you away due to what's that thing in contracts where they say we could cancel your contract because it ruins the interest. You ruined the public image.
No, I get the feeling that Netflix ain't going to renew them because they just keep dropping in views.
Well, yeah, that's also true. That's also going on. But again, that was always going to happen. Streaming is really not the thing to go, I think, for like wrestling or sports. I think it just makes things more complicated. You just want to turn on your TV and see wrestling if you do. Or a lot of people who watch wrestling, the casuals, oh, it's on? Like,
yeah, but I feel some people still hit up that watch wrestling kind of website a lot.
And then, we're in the time of the wrestling fan that's just watching clips on YouTube. That's where we're at. Let's be honest.
To be honest,
AEW, the pay-per-view, people are just like, let me watch.
Did a 5-minute recap video on YouTube of their show. 5 minutes, and I feel like I got everything from it. Like I watched it, but like they showed it, and I was like, you know what? It didn't seem like something I didn't need to see. I could have missed this.
This show could have been the email.
This weekend is a double LFG.
Don't know what's going to happen. Do I plan on watching both episodes? Maybe one.
Well, so someone's getting future endeavored. Cutler or BJ Ray is going to get future endeavored by Bubba.
Well, it's clearly not Cutler.
Yeah, but sexy BJ Ray still got
TV every week. Cutler's on TV every week.
Cutler's trash, man. I can't stand Cutler.
So your team BJ Ray?
Yeah, I'm getting an asshole.
I don't like BJ Ray because he just feels like just a plant. Like they want you to hate this guy, or they want you to love this guy, or whatever emotions they want. They want you to feel some toward about this guy because they see something in him. I don't like that. I'm worried. I don't care about the BJ Ray Cutler situation. I care about seeing if Holyfield or who else has shitty moves going on, or Shiloh, or what's the Olympian name? I forget her name right now.
Oh, why have I forgotten her name? It's like
I just want to see if these people get better. That's what I want to see. I don't care about the size of it. I just want to see if what's going to happen with Bayley Humphries and shit, or that Tiana, or all these names I know, or that cheerleader that's just sweet. I just want to see, are these people going to improve, and do I see I can make? Will they be a star in my lifetime?
Tyra May Steele.
Yeah, that's the name it seems like I should remember too. How come I remember Kelly Armstrong, but I can't remember Tyra May Steele?
Well, I can never remember Kelly Armstrong.
No.
And she seems like a badass.
She does. She seems like the better version of Tyra May Steele, to be honest. You know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of when this Big Swole was an actual normal sized human being. Instead of very
giving up wrestling.
Yeah. It wasn't going much. Yeah, it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere. He had a one shot in AEW, and Tony was like, eh.
Well, she spoke, and then Tony was like, eh.
Yeah. Pains. Hate it.
So that is today's show. I ain't got anything else to talk about.
No, I'm tired. Dead tired, but I got nothing to talk about. Again, SmackDown since Friday. Donate to the show. Check out the description. That's written down there. So description with the link to the donation button. But just let us know how you feel about the show or whatever. Email us at disruptions@gmail.com. Yada yada. We got all our contacts up here and stuff. So.
Yeah, email the show. One of us will check it eventually.
Yeah. And then tune in Saturday for another special episode. The special episode of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, where Eric has ditched us to go take pictures. His smut. That's what it's all about.
All about Stardom this weekend. I don't watch Stardom, Neil.
Yeah. TNA Rebellion is happening Sunday in my backyard, but
the only time I watch Stardom is on the Eve stream where the matches are picked out, normally by Neil, about talent that potentially bring over to Eve. I just don't have time to watch everything. So when Dan does the Eve shows and then there's matches put in, it's like, okay, cool. I've seen this now. This is good.
Manny, how are you gonna become a head booker of Eve if you're not watching all the matches?
I would never be a head
You like
booker.
the Oscars. You like the Oscars. You're not watching all the nominated movies? What the fuck? Why is that a thing?
Why is he coming here and went Excelsior?
That's the stupidest thing I heard all week, though.
Wes, if you're free on if you're free on May 10th, can you please let me know, please?
Yeah, because we ditching Manny again. We maybe ditching Manny again. Eric's wife is having a graduation for her. I think it's a master's.
Yeah, Marisha ain't even available.
So
it's bullshit.
Manny might be all alone. Manny might be facing the backlash of WrestleMania all alone. But I don't know when they graduation actually. Maybe I can jump back in. Who knows? Well, I'm sure it's gonna be a dinner after.
I might not let you back in.
That's all right. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Enjoy my weekend.
You might try and come through the door. I might Habibi kick you.
God forbid I watch no wrestling this weekend.
Oh,
that's it. I'm going on strike. No more wrestling. Will not.
I think I'm gonna release. I think on the May 8th, I'm gonna release the trial of Fiasco.
That should have been released like 8 years ago. We have been there for 5 more years now, man. The cat was executed. That's what you gotta put.
But yeah, that is today's show. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus the Grunge Finale.
And we are out of here.
Manny, who's your next 90s rapper? Or 2000?
Can we bring in LL Cool J?
You know what? That is not bad. That is not a bad gig. They call him Big LA.
Can we get Ice-T?
Oh, no. Ice-T is too old. That's like bringing in a Rock and Roll Express. Man, we want to bring it on. You know what? I would say let's bring in Cube. Tony, bring in Ice Cube. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube? He's too busy.
He can promote his big three. I feel like Cube would be someone that could show up and I would be like, you know what? That's a good gig. Master P is C-level top rapper right now. Cube is still kind of, in the B. He ain't a rapper. Nobody, we think of him as a mogul and entertainer at this point now.
Oh, and wait. I'm going to do this. Can you bring up a comment for me?
Excelsior? Or any comment?
Jamal, if you ever make it onto the main stage of anything, I'm just going to point out I still have this picture.
Jesus, Randy. Jesus.
I still have it. That's cool.
That's corporal punishment.
He goes to sleep. John Cena choked him out.
But let's do the show.
We out.
Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace.